We structure our union around action committees. Certainly one of those organized action committees going is the Librarian Action Committee. They overwhelmed me with the amount of research they had done and color-coded charts and all these things, just showing not only are we out of compliance, but we've been out of compliance for over 10 years. I came into the system as a teacher in 2002. At Slidell High School, we had a primary librarian, a secondary librarian, both certified, and they had a library aide. And then by the time I left the teaching ranks in 2020, they were down to a single librarian. So I feel like our libraries have withered on the vine for over 10 years. And administration, I love my administration, we don't always see eye to eye. We don't see this as an HR thing. We see this as a literacy thing. We see this as impacting children. Libraries are the place I learned to love reading. And that's what's missing right now. COVID only accelerated the decline of these libraries, all the additional responsibilities being piled on librarians. It varies by school, but from Chromebooks to every other catch-all to help out administration, pulling these people to sub in classrooms because we have substitute shortages. These folks don't recognize the profession anymore, and some are quitting. It's unheard of to see a librarian not finish their career. And last year I know of 2 that left because they were so frustrated. And one was on my committee and just didn't believe the committee could get anything done. And so I come out here today because all of them are scared to talk to you. They don't want to speak out. They respect their superintendent, but they clearly feel passionately. So my job is to be their representative, to be their voice. And I beg you to deny this waiver so that we can begin to rebuild these libraries in St. Tammany Parish so we can once again have a world-class school system. Thank you.
You said that the librarians are frustrated?
Yes, sir.
Are they frustrated about being librarians?
They are frustrated that what they do every day no longer matches what their job description states. It no longer looks like what they went to school to do, which is to instill a love of reading, the ability to teach valuable skills such as research skills, media literacy, those sorts of things. They become so inundated with other administrative types of requests that what they know and love is being stripped away from them. That's the source of the frustration. And it's just hard to keep their head above water. There's a nuts and bolts component. They have to reshelve books. They have to order books. In our district, it was stated on the public record that every new book coming into the library has to be reviewed by the librarian. And we all know there's a lot of concerns about collections and things like that. How can we expect an understaffed librarian, often a single librarian, to meet the demand of reviewing every book coming into a library? It's impossible. It's probably impossible even if you had a full staff, but they don't have a full staff. So that is at the heart of the frustration, that they are being asked to do things that are changing what a library looks like and basically making it defunct.
I've gotten several emails and an anonymous letter, a letter written by someone I know, it's not signed and no name is attached, saying that the librarians are being asked to do a lot of non-librarian tasks. Substitute teaching, as an example, tracking on books, which is not a library task. Is that right?
Yeah, that's accurate. And it does vary by school. There are schools where the administration makes accommodations to get some help. But out of 55, there are some that really seriously need assistance. And I'm not sure how many librarians, I think I heard 6. They need 6 high school librarians to meet the minimum standard. I know Mandeville High School. How many?
6 or 7.
Okay. So Mandeville High, they recommend having 3 because it's over 2,000 plus student population. They have a single librarian. That's it. That's an impossible thing.
The only rule that I heard was that if you have more than 1,000, you're supposed to have 2 librarians.
Okay, yeah. So
you're saying there's another rule that says if you have 2,000 students, you're supposed to have 3 librarians?
Okay, so there are rules and suggestions. So the LDOE has their own recommendations, but that doesn't have the force of a BESI mandate. So I think you're accurate. The minimum is what has to be enforced. But the recommendations are something we should consider. I believe. But that's not why we're here today.
There's a school in St. Tammany that has 3,000 students in one librarian.
Over 2,000. Over 2,000 students with one library. Yes, sir.
Over 2,000. Do you see, if this waiver were denied, is it going to contribute to the teacher shortage? Or are there teachers that would want to be a librarian that would not quit being a regular teacher if they were forced to be a regular teacher? Would they be more likely to quit and therefore?
I really don't think so, because it's such a niche degree and people are going to have to go into debt to get that degree. And I would also have the board consider, 2 years ago, we grew the size of government in St. Tammany, opened up all these administrative positions, and there are all these other ancillary positions that have been opened up. So if we're able to pull those people out of the classroom and ignore minimum standards, then maybe we need to take a look at what we're doing. I think we need to meet the minimum standards.